Welcome to the Jupiter Real Estate Market Update, Single Family Homes Edition, August of 2024. The median price of a single family home in Jupiter is now $1 million. Woof. Up 2.6% from last month, but actually down from 1.1 million this time last year. My name is Prindle, your Jupiter Realtor. If you've been considering buying or selling real estate in the Jupiter area, don't be shy, give me a call. My phone number, 786-443-7203. It's also right down there in the description. I'm really easy to get a hold of, and I'm reasonably entertaining to talk to, I think. All data presented will come from the MLS or multiple listing service. You're going to see July as the date of most of the data, even though we're in August. Data runs about 30 days behind. Takes a little bit of time to load in and get sorted out. Stick around to the end of the video because I am going to give you some commentary on the overall real estate market because that's what a lot of you guys call and email me about. All right, median sold prices of single family homes in Jupiter, Florida. All right, so here we are sitting at $1 million. As I said, down year over year from 1.1, up slightly last month. I mean, look, if you look at the chart, you can see it's up and to the right. One of the most commonly asked questions I get is whether I see impending doom and prices falling dramatically, and all these crazy comparisons to the mortgage market crash. Look, none of that stuff exists. You can't convince me that it does. We have much lower leverage. The amount of cash purchases is wild over the last several years. So that, and there isn't a whole lot of underwater and distress in the market. Even if you look back, if somebody bought even 2 years ago at a median price of $773 here, let's just throw a dart at a board, they can still get out. And they can still get out and make some money. So I don't see that happening. I'll talk more at the end of this video, kind of what I see overall in the total real estate market. So let's just keep on digging in to the stats, shall we? All right, total number of homes sold in Jupiter, Florida, 67. We are up from 60 sales year over year. Where are we? Yeah, here we are. There we are, down here. So we're up from 60 sales to 67 sales year over year. Here's the thing with this chart when I look at it. It's total chaos, right? It's not nice and orderly like you just saw with median pricing. This is just kind of chaos. Look, not a whole lot more matters than how many homes are selling, right? Forget all the other stuff. If you have no sales, we got problems. We're not sitting towards the total lows down here, right? Look at that. Got down to 43 sales in November. So we're still a bit above there. We'll see what seasonality does this year. I'm definitely curious, to say the least. But we're flat month over month at 67 sales. So kind of an interesting place to be, of course. If you're a seller, you'd like to see more sales happening. If you're a buyer, more negotiations or more room you have to negotiate if there's a lower total amount of sales, right? All right, on to the next. All right, average list to sales price. Now, for those of you that are new to this, the higher that we get on this chart, say up here, people were paying over 100% of asking price. If you're a seller, you want everything up here. When we get down here, we're a little over 5% off list. It means that buyers have some more room for negotiation. This looks like it's curving down. Now, this can quickly get cured if over these past months, if sellers are looking at these kind of numbers and thinking, well, you know what? I shouldn't be pricing my property with aspirational pricing. I should be pricing on market or a little bit below if I want to sell.
And if that happens, this average list price moves up, right? I will tell you from dealing with a lot of sellers that right now I think that's starting to happen. I think people are starting to get the message that, we're not in the greatest market if you're trying to sell. Buyers, I'm going to go over this in the end, but you have a small window, I believe anyways, to kind of take advantage of this now where you can have some room to negotiate. So down slightly month over month, but like I said, trending down. We'll see where we go next month. All right, if you are looking to purchase a home in Jupiter, please do one of the two following things. Pick up the phone and call me. My number is 786-443-7203. It's down in the description. Lots of places online. I'm easy to find. You can call me if you're too shy to call me and you just want to snoop around at some properties. There is a home search button down there in the description as well. You can go ahead and click that, register on my website. I am the only one that will see your registration. I am the only one that will call you. I am the only one that will email you. But I'll want to get in touch with you and see what you're looking for. So let's continue to move on here. Median days on market. Here we are, down 6% month over month. We're kind of on the higher side of this chart. Now a review for those of you that are new to it. Median days on market accounts only for the amount of days that your home was active until it went pending sale. This does not account for the 30 or 45 days that you're going to take to close. You add that on top of this 47 days. If you're a seller and you realistically want to know how long it's going to take to get money in your bank account, right now 90 days is a fair assessment. Ooh, that hurts a little bit for a lot of you. I know. That's just the truth. You want to do this quick closing scenario stuff, you got to price aggressively. But for the most part, that's kind of what you're looking at. Now, here's the thing when you look at this chart. If you're a seller, you want to see days on market way down here, because it forces buyers to make a fast decision. If they see a house on Monday and by Friday it's pending, they're quickly going to get the hint that they got to hurry up, make an offer if they see something they like. When we're up here, or kind of where we are on the higher side of the chart a bit, it means that buyers can take their time. The house that they saw, let's see, if we're 47 days on market on average, the house that they saw last month even is likely still on market. There's no pressure. They can pick and choose their spots. All right? So whether you're a buyer or a seller, this is a real important one to keep an eye on. So don't discount it. Take that stat seriously. All right, median price per square foot of home sales in Jupiter, $458 a foot. Click back here. We were at $473 a foot a year ago. So we're down year over year. If you look at the trend line though, chart still looks like it's headed up and to the right. I will say this again and again. You guys might be bored of hearing it, but I got to say it. The good stuff is selling. People are paying a higher price per square foot for the totally renovated, in good condition, nice stuff. The junky stuff is hard to move right now. If you need updating and you need renovations, you really got to price very aggressively to pull people in. The theme of the market right now, and I believe is going to continue, is the good stuff will sell. So bring your property to market in the best condition possible. If you're a buyer, I know those are the properties you're going to want to see. And I'll be honest with you, that's what I would do. Look, I've been through fixer-uppers. We've done it on the houses that we've lived in before we built this one. It's not a lot of fun to live through. So I get it. I get why prices are moving up. I get why the good stuff is selling. But just understand it, whether you're a buyer or a seller. All right. Total dollar volume. You are going to look at this statistic right here that I'm pointing at and say, whoa, month over month, we are up almost 36%. Market's back. We're good. We're on fire. Now I'm going to tell you what you can't see in this data. And I was so thrown by the the quick upswing here that I went into the MLS to look at those 67 properties that sold last month. Ready for something wild? If you look at the top 5 sales last month, they accounted for $50 million in volume. If you took those sales out, 50 million minus the 12, we would have been at 70 million. We would have been down from last month. Now, that's not reality, right? We live in an expensive marketplace. We have $5 and $10 million sales somewhat regularly. So you're going to see some zigzags on the chart because of that. You just kind of got to understand that a little bit. But what I'm saying to you is, this isn't, in my mind, as good as it kind of looks. Because if you took those sales out, we'd be on a decline. So I am not overly optimistic looking at this. More than anything else, I am a little bit cautious. So just take it with a grain of salt. It's best I can tell you there. All right. Before we get on to a month's supply of inventory, if you have a home in Jupiter and you're considering selling it, give me a call sooner rather than later, whether you're thinking of selling next week or next year. The reason I say that is simple. The more runway you give me to work with you, the more value I can bring to you. If you wait until the last minute, it's hard for me to help you make adjustments. So the longer runway that you have, the better. That being said, I deal with a lot of people that need to sell in less of a time period than is ideal. So I get it. But the first thing to do is to call or email me, give me your property address, ask me what a valuation would look like. That's really where all this has to start. Without an accurate valuation, honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about. So don't be shy. Go ahead. Call me 786-443-7203 or email me if you prefer. My email address below in the description. Let's get on a month's supply of inventory. All right, sorry. Had to pause you guys for a second there. Had a very dangerous looking UPS delivery guy come here, and one of my dogs was very upset with his presence. All right, month's supply of inventory. So if you read the national media, they are going to tell you that 6 months of inventory is a balanced market favoring neither buyers nor sellers. If you believe that to be true, then over the last 5 years, Jupiter has never been in a buyer's market. I'll be honest with you, I kind of find that hard to believe. Here, I would say, and I've gone over this in the past, 4 months is really more of, I think, where we kind of balance out. Maybe a little less. You can make an argument for even 3. So at 4.69 months, are we really favoring sellers that much? I'll be honest with you, I don't really think so. When you look at 47 days on market and you put that up against this month's supply, I don't truly buy it. That being said, months of supply is my absolute favorite metric to watch, bar none. Look, the world operates on supply and demand. The less supply there is, the easier it's going to be or the harder it's going to be, depending if you're buying or selling, right? This is basic stuff. So if you look at a 12-month change and you say we're up just shy of 57% over the last 12 months, this means buyers have 57% more choices than they did if we look back, right? If we look back here, we're at 3 months of inventory in July last year. So if you're a buyer, you certainly want to be up here. Now, here's the thing. One of the things that can truly swing this market into a frantic market and a very good one for sellers is if this supply comes down, right? Because the less amount of homes that are available for sale, I'm going to get up on this chair and start jumping up and down and telling sellers, you got to list right now. If you're even thinking about selling, when supply gets small, that's when you want to jump in. That's when you want to get it on the market. Because again, buyers have fewer choices. If they just want a home in, whichever area, whether it's, the inlet, the farms, whatever, Abacoa, and there's only a couple of houses for sale and yours is one of them, you're looking pretty good. Conversely, if they have 12 choices, not as good for you, right? So super important to keep an eye on. I'm very curious to see where this goes. I'm very curious to see if we get constrained on supply again. If we do, that's going to change a lot of dynamics, I think. All right. So I told you guys I would give you some final thoughts. Here are my final thoughts. There's a lot going on with interest rates right now. The bond market is not waiting for the Fed to act. Mortgage rates are down about 100 basis points from the highs. So the market's already moving. The market's already moving rates down. Yesterday's unemployment data, the Fed's going to be forced to act, I believe. They've been super slow to act. I think they're really behind the eight ball here, but that aside, I think come the September 23rd, the only question is whether they cut a quarter or a half. Here's why I'm bringing this up. Should rates pull back, and I really believe they're going to. What was it? NerdWallet did a thing last week asking buyers, what's the one thing keeping you from purchasing a home right now? And 61% of them answered and said interest rates. I get it. I've said this before. I get it. People don't want to pay a high interest rate on their mortgage. I get it. But here's the problem. Going back to like this supply chart. If all of a sudden, all these 61% more buyers jump into the market on the same day that interest rates get reduced, what do you think that does to not only competition, but to the pricing of active listings? Do you think that the price of those listings is going to go down with more buyers suddenly in the market? I don't think that's how it works. You're not going to sell me on that. I think if you're a buyer right now, you have a chance to negotiate a pretty wide margin off of a listing price. So let's say you can get a home for whatever, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 less than if everybody comes rushing back into the market and we're suddenly back at full priced offers. At that time, are you going to look back and say, maybe I should have paid that 1% more on my interest rate? Maybe that would have been a good idea. Now I get it. Some people are constrained. They need interest rates to come down to make the payments work. I get it. Every situation's different. Every buyer's different. Every seller's different. I've been doing this a long time. I can tell you that. I know that. Just consider it. All right. Just think about it and use this as more of a holistic approach to whether you're going to jump in if you're a buyer or whether you're going to wait. All right. That's what I got for you, kids. One last time. Let's talk some real estate. Give me a call, 786-443-7203. I'm fun to talk to most days. If you don't want to talk to me on the phone, we can get a coffee or a cocktail. If we have 2 or 3 cocktails, I'm going to be a lot of fun to talk to. So that's it, guys. I will see you next month. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. Have a good month. We'll talk to you.